Hey, this is Dave from metalepidemic.com. Thank you for checking out our YouTube video. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button below if you like this type of content, and we hope you enjoy the review. What's up, guys? Dave, Duncan, Kyle, back from Metal Epidemic. Back for another album review and for this review. Duncan, Kyle and I have been checking out the new album from Bay Area post-metalers Mountaineer. The band's new album, Giving Up the Ghost, will be out on February 22nd on Lifeforce Records. So, gents, Mountaineer. Been active since around 2015. This will be album number 4 for the band, which follows up 2019's Bloodletting.
2019's best album as selected by both Dave and Duncan that year.
It was 2019, wasn't it?
It was 2019, yeah. It was our first year.
2019, yeah.
And that album was like there. Like just like everything was here and it was there.
Yeah. Best album of the year. This album was produced and engineered by Ben Hirschfield, who also did the band's 2017 release, then mastered by none other than Mr. Brad Botwright. Brad.
We love you, man.
We love you, Brad.
Brad.
We do.
You're the
How
man.
do you get on every record we love?
Yeah.
we spoke to him. That's the thing. Is when we spoke to him, he was like, you know, the thing that I never mentioned at the time during that interview was the fact that I asked him a question about, like, you know, is COVID just like all the albums that are coming out and all the rest with your name against them? Is that like a busy year? And he's like, actually, business has been down. 100 albums in a year. Fucking business has been pretty quiet this year, guys.
Yeah. So
Jesus.
So new album from Mountaineer. Slight confession, I had never listened to any of the singles from this album. We got the album in a couple of months ago, and they had released singles over the last couple of months, and I couldn't bring myself to hit the play button on this album.
Frustratingly, couldn't bring yourself to press the play button because I've been wanting to talk to you about it for fucking weeks, Dave. I listened to this before Christmas.
Yeah.
In fact, when we come back from our Christmas break and we recorded our first album review, or our first sets of album reviews, and we ended up talking about 40 Watt Sun. Mm-hmm. And in the just before we started recording that, you made a statement saying, "Oh yeah, there's one album that I've been listening to constantly over," and I was like, "That Mountaineer." And then when we got to the end of that recording session, I asked Dave what he thought about it, and he's like, "Oh, I've not listened to it yet."
Well, I think it comes down to the fact that I hold Bloodletting in such high regard. Like, I was worried that this album might not live up to Bloodletting. I was thinking I might have been actually cool if the band just hung it up after Bloodletting. Like, that's cool. Yeah. Go out on a high. Like that album to me, I thought it was perfect. Like, I wouldn't change a thing about it. So I'm like, how do you better that? Like, how, like, and I think the answer is you don't. You can't. Like,
you don't release something that sounds the same.
Yeah, a lot of the time, like, I think a lot of the time what makes an album so, like, profound can be to do with, like, where the band members are in life, really. Like, what life experiences have they been through to make an album like Bloodletting?
It's every album, every great album that you've ever listened to, every album that's ranked in the best albums of all time that are universally captured as classics are time capsules.
Yeah.
They're time capsules of experiences, whether that's the writing process, the recording process. They're weird little bubbles of a snapshot in history, and that's what transcends. That's what people go back to, is experiencing that snapshot of it. The ones that are forgettable are the ones that it was Tuesday we went in and recorded.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Just
those are the ones
out,
that
Those, I think those life experiences can often determine, like, the themes and the concepts of an album. And the feeling that goes into it as well. This one, like going with the album title and the song titles and the lyrics, it looked like one of the main focuses was around death. So I kind of had a feeling like this, I was in for something kind of emotional and kind of deep. So I was thinking like there's a possibility this could reach the same heights as they did on that album. It was going to be a tall fucking order, but it could be done. And I suppose like my favorite, one of my favorite moments, I had many favorite moments on Bloodletting, was the opener. Like Blood of the Book just gave me absolute goosebumps. Like when I hit play hit the play button on Giving Up the Ghost, I was kind of like hoping that I was going to get that same kind of feeling. But Mountaineer are sneaky. Like Mountaineer said, Dave, wait a minute, we're not giving you Bloodletting 2. Like
no.
which could be a Van Damme movie, by the way. Just saying.
Oh man, I think I'd watch Bloodletting 2. I think I had a bootleg of that.
Yeah, Van Damme. If you're listening,
it's where he fights Tom.
He's not, but
I think it's where he fights Tom Poe's like former brother's roommate. I'm sure it is Sean No versus Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodletting 2.
Bloodletting 2. This album is. This album's a different beast. Like and in fact they were like, we're going to totally fuck with you here, Dave, because we're going to give you an intro track that builds with melody and layers and textures, and then we're going to fade out and we're going to do it all again on track 2, like a bunch of teasing bastards. It was like the audio edging. It was like audio edging, basically. Like if you're not sure, Google it. But not with your work computer. Okay.
No, because that's just going to be
if you Google that in England, you just get a bunch of garden websites.
Like depending on what web browser you use, like Dave has just directed you to the sound of a man on the edge, like for the edge of orgasm, and the audio so not the video that accompanies it, just the audio sound of it.
Audio edging. It's the new craze. It's going to be the new craze. But that intro track is basically what that is. That is audio edging. And then we're into...
It's got weird fast.
Yeah, it did.
I like it.
I didn't see it going this way, but we're here now, so let's just go with it.
We heard it go this way.
We are into Blot Out the Sun, which is the next track. And then they deliver in true Mountaineer fashion a track that slow burns into like that kind of wall of colossal, sludgy post-metal riffs and emotive vocals. And at that point, I knew like, okay, this is going to be another roller coaster. Like I'm not sure, like 100% how sure they're going to do it, but they just know. I don't know what it is, but they know how to hit that sweet spot of mine. I think. No, I'm not going back to audio edging. I think.
Where is that sweet spot found, Dave?
I think it might be. Well, I know where it is, but I think it might be. I think it might be their understanding of how. I think it's the understanding of how to build a track. And give it that perfect climax or hook. Every track just delivers. Like whether it's a vocal melody that just feels really honest, or something melancholic that shifts into a really uplifting set of chords, or something like, those kind of like post-rock type leads that they use, that they infuse to their songs. And the way they kind of build a track up from the ground, like they build, like the picked clean guitars, and it's something that could knock over a building. But I think the most impressive thing about Giving Up the Ghost was just how much feeling it has. Like, and Bloodletting had it as well, but as I said, this doesn't sound like Bloodletting 2. Van Damme, just saying. It has similarities for sure, but it's got a ton of dynamics. It's melancholic. It's got that big warm production, and it's got hooks as well. Like, but like the mental thing is this still feels like a band that are still evolving and still got so much to offer. Like there's so many different musical styles and vocal textures going on here that it's almost impossible not to pull something from each track that you like. Fortunately for me, I like it all, but like, even if you are even if you're not a huge sludge or post metal fan, there's some really like nice nods to like shoegaze and post rock that kind of balances this album out. On Bloodletting, it was the kind of first part of the album that really just like grabbed me and captivated me. On Giving Up the Ghost, it was the latter half of the album that really kind of drew me in. Like, and I was loving the first half, but then as the album goes on, it just gets better. And then when you hit When the Soul Sleeps and Twin Flame, wow, like just you're in for an absolute treat, because those tracks, in my opinion, are just Mountaineer just excelling in every area of their sound. Those vocal melodies by Miguel, just absolutely haunting, and again, just utterly goosebump inducing, which is something that like happens to me like a couple of times a year, if that, like, and that's like at the most. I also think one thing that really works with this album is the length. Like, it's slightly shorter than Bloodletting. It's only about 30 odd minutes, 32 minutes. But I think because of that shorter runtime, it makes it so much easier just to put it on loop. Like, you can just fire it on again and again. And like I mentioned this on Bloodletting review, but that production, man, every time that production is just unbelievable. And again, on Giving Up the Ghost, it sounds immaculate. Like, everything sounds so natural and well balanced. The guitar tone is really thick. The drums have just got this depth and lovely reverb on them. It gives the album so much weight and so much size. I honestly didn't think they were going to knock out the park for like another like just second time right after Bloodletting, but they've done it again. Like, once again, I'm just absolutely floored by another Mountaineer album. I just fucking love this band. Like, I think they're just the perfect band for me. I love everything about their sound, and I think they've nailed it once again with this new album. Duncan, what did you think?
Oh, I've had a lot longer to digest this album, and I can tell you now, after listening to it for over a month, it only gets better, to be honest. Like, I've spun this to death, pun intended. It's just a ghost now. It's interesting, you talk about like a haunting dynamic, and once again, that in itself with the name of the release is kind of punny. There's a movie I love that a lot of people hate. Right?
It's not Van Damme, is it?
It's Bloodletting. he fights Sean No, Tom Poe's brother's roommate. No, there's a movie that I love, which is basically it's almost 100% atmosphere. That's all it is. Story's not really there. It's just all 100% atmosphere. And there's a lot of people checked the fuck out of that movie because they hated it, because they couldn't see what I saw, which was texture. It's a movie completely existing of texture and the decay that comes over time, right? I'm going to mention the movie, and Dave's going to roll his eyes because Dave doesn't like it. But God. the movie is a ghost story, right? Right, starring Casey Affleck. Yeah, it's a good movie, right? But it's basically Casey Affleck standing in a sheet with his eyes cut out, like glued to a house as time passes on beyond the point of his life. But it continually travels to the point where it actually loops back in on itself, as this kind of weird cycle of time and decay and loss and love and all the rest. This is the audio version of that. See if this played over scenes of that movie.
Yeah, that'd been an amazing movie, actually. I would agree with there, yeah.
It just, there's something about it, this release in particular, where it's like you said, Bloodletting is such a... Mountaineer are such a unique band. Let's stress that first and foremost. The way they even describe themselves is kind of like 7 genres. Yeah. You sort it out. Whichever one fits, whichever one fits is fine. And I kind of like that about them, because I don't think they look at themselves and say we're at the forefront of pioneering any specific thing. I just think this is their sound, and it fits them. It would be very, very easy after Bloodletting, having not had the tour cycle that most bands get generally because of COVID and all the rest, to jump back in and, like you say, just go, well, we haven't done anything. Like, we didn't go on the road and we didn't do anything, so we'll just write more songs in the vein of Bloodletting. And I don't know if I would have liked that. This is the weird thing about it. I don't know if I would have liked that. Like, I had an idea of what this was going to sound like, and I hit play, and it was completely blown away, and it was replaced by the thing that I didn't know I needed, but I can't let go of. This album is fucking incredible, like absolutely incredible. Oh, let's get the production out of the way, because it's difficult to talk about without discussing the production. Perfect. Like, absolutely perfect. Every nuance, every detail, every it's warm, and it's inviting, and it's rich, and it's powerful, and it's fragile, and it's everything that I want. Vocally, I think his vocals are better on this one than on Bloodletting. I think his melody here, and don't shout at me, there's a kind of, and it kind of adds to the area of where they are. There's a grungy element. Like, see when grunge bands did ballads, there's a register of which those singers would sing. I kept thinking of, and it doesn't sound like it, but Something in the Wind by Nirvana, right? There's a element of the kind of breathy tones that Kurt Cobain uses in there that is all through this. All through the melody here, and it's fucking amazing. It's haunting, and it's chilling, and it gets into the bone. Like, when you're listening to it, it's that way where if you've ever been so cold that you've walked into a house that's roasting, but you're still freezing because your bones are cold. It's like that. The melody gets in there, and it just sticks. The guitars, oh my good God Almighty, quiet, like soulful, melodic, and then, like you say, when you get sucker punched so fucking hard in the face, it's almost as whiplash to the point that it could do you injury when things turn heavy. It is just, and it is a mastery of not only what and I was going to say it was a mastery of production, but there's live performances, there's like live sessions of these guys out there, and that's how they fucking sound live. So it ain't no studio fuckery here. When that hits you, it is a complete wall of sound, and it's dense, and it's, it's difficult to pull through, but it hits you. Track 2 shouldn't work because, as Dave rightly put it, track 1 is a build-up. So when it finishes at that build-up, track 2 should start off with the payoff. And I should be frustrated that it says, no, let's go back to the beginning. It's kind of like when you're playing a computer game and you get to almost the end and then you die, and then you're like, what do you mean I didn't do the checkpoint? Oh, no, I have to start from the beginning. No, it's that way, right? When you go back...
Audio edging is basically...
it's audio edging, Dave, yeah. It's like, I'm about to go... No, I'm not. We're stopping there. That seems cruel. So you go back, and you should, as a listener, instinctively feel frustrated by that, but... like the start of Blot Out the Sun is beautiful, and it brings you back in again. Bed of Flowers, like fucking headaches. There's a lyrical theme that he uses in the chorus about blood that I fucking love, and it just kept going, and it kept washing over me, and the songs don't do, even Bloodletting after a while it wasn't predictable, but there was a formula, and once you cracked that formula, you could kind of see how songs fit together, and what the elements that made them surprising were when they did something a bit more shoegazy or brought in some more atmospherics or whatever. On this one, it's not evident that there necessarily is a formula, and I kind of like that, although the tracks all unfold exactly like they should. They sound very much like Mountaineer, just, like writing a new album, and this is the direction we're going. When the Soul Sleeps is a fucking... Oh man, that on loop. The thing is, everything on loop. That's what I found on this one. Its runtime of 32 minutes, like Dave mentioned, is absolutely the perfect thing for this. It's 7 tracks, and the first track and closing track are basically mirrors of each other, and this is the third time, depending on when you've been listening to all the reviews we record tonight. Look out for the t-shirt. This is the third album that utilises a technique of bookending the album with something that is very similar to the start. And as a result, it's very difficult not to want to press play again and go through that experience. I genuinely think like Mountaineer are one of the most interesting, one of the most absorbing is the word I would use, because everything just, you get pulled in. They are the band that Dave spent a fortune on headphones so he could get the perfect sound out of it, and I think I think a band that have a huge cross-market appeal. I could see people that are into kind of stoner music enjoying it, people that are into doom music and enjoying it, people that are into that more kind of the shoegazy, the kind of post-rocky stuff, also enjoying it, even with all those heavier elements, still getting loads out of it. But first and foremost, Mountaineer are an excellent band. They have a command of songwriting and structure that every band should aspire to have. Like, and they make it sound effortless, and I love this. I like this and the 40 Watt Sun album were played on loop about the same time. One is infinitely longer than the other, but I was just awash with atmosphere. And going out to speak to people, I just like felt like everyone should be hand drawn. Like no one was. There's that like it transports you somewhere completely different. I'm gonna say it. I think this is as good as Bloodletting, if not better. And I'm only 1 month and listening to this. By the end of the year, who fucking knows? They've done it again, and they've done it in a different way than I thought they were gonna, and will never cease to surprise me. And if Mountaineer are a band you've never heard of before, you need to like do some fucking homework, son. Right? Like get whatever you listen to, whatever streaming service you use to use your music. Get it fucking downloaded and give it a listen. This is going to score high for me this year. Like really high for me this year. It's fucking incredible.
Nice.
That's why you should speak to me when I listen to it there, so I don't hold it in. That's the end. That's the end. That's what audio edging ending sounds like.
Are you crying a bit there?
Yeah, just a little.
Kyle,
fucking hell.
I mean, we've pretty much emptied ourselves for the last 20 minutes.
I was going to say,
is there anything you'd like to add?
Van damned.
Bloodletting 2.
Beautiful.
You two spaffed over this so much. I'm fucking swimming over here. I mean, what they said.
If you ditto me right now, I'm coming to Norway. Right?
I'm like, I don't know what else I can say. I could have gone like, yeah, I'm on the other side of the fence to you guys. This fucking sucked. But no, there's no way you can say that. I don't agree. Look at their faces. I made a joke about it and they're that bad. Oh, that would have been great. Next time.
You're getting
I'd never heard Mountaineer before. I'd never even heard of Mountaineer before. I've been so outside this genre of shoegazy, doomy stuff that I'm just like...
Were you with us? Like, I don't even know...
I joined like 2 months after that or something.
Yeah,
not so long afterwards. And but no, I'd never heard of these guys before. And this, like you said, slow burn definitely, but I like that now. I didn't used to, but I love it now. And like, I just know... I can't really say anything else other than the production on this is fucking perfect. I don't get it. Like everything is so awash with reverb and delay and all this stuff, but it's so clear and crystal and everything just fits together like it should. It's like a puzzle. I would do want to just actually mention one thing, maybe two, but vocal harmonies. If I could do the chef's kiss, I would.
You can. You just go. Mwah.
Yeah, but I look like a seal eating a golf ball. So I ain't gonna do it.
Your wife is a lucky woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. So they're just all over the album. I just keep listening and listening deeper and deeper to all the layers of vocal harmony, and it's not obvious when you first listen to it, but you listen deeper and you give it another listen and it's like, fuck, it's all there. And it's just unbelievable, and that really, really got to me in a way. And Touch the Glass, that is my standout song. That just blew me away, absolutely blew me the fuck away. So I'm like, yeah, Everything else is pretty much a ditto from what you guys said.
Dave, but the tickets were awesome. Over there kicking his cunt, right?
what these guys said. I mean, it's already, how long is this recording? It's already about an hour long.
Not long enough. It's not long enough. Like, I could honestly go another... Yeah, this...
Part one, yeah. I tell you what, I did put this on repeat because it's so easy to do. It's the easiest thing I've ever put on repeat. It was just like, oh yeah, let's go again. It wasn't even a conscious thought. It's just my mouse drifted to the button and hit play.
Yeah.
And it was just on again, and 4 times in a row. I rarely do that. I usually listen to an album and then go away and let it breathe and come back and give it another listen. Repeat listens like that, back to back, don't usually happen for me, but this one absolutely made it happen. And I was like, so yeah.
Nice.
Great stuff. I can't wait to go back and listen to all of Mountaineer's previous stuff. How many albums is it?
This is the 4th one.
4th.
Oh, yeah. I've got 3 to look forward to. That's my week sorted. Thanks.
I'm going to ask the question, but I pretty much know the answer, I think. Ratings for the new album from Mountaineer, Giving Up the Ghost. I mean, I'm not even going to go into detail here. This is a 5-star album. Nothing else needs to be said.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is, Kyle. Yeah.
Never would have guessed, Dave.
Flawless. Duncan?
Well, while we were recording, it's been so much time has passed that I've actually evolved to have 6 fingers. So I'm giving this... No, that's maximum mark. If I could give it a 6, I would give it a 6. Right. It's maximum marks. This is fucking incredible, and I know they're on the other side of the world, and I know they're not as big as some of the other bands out there, but if you can find it in your heart to come to Scotland... I will be front row, and I don't do that for any band anymore because I'm old. But I will be front fucking row. I promise not to sit down during the whole gig. That's a promise I make to no one except Mountaineer. Yeah, this is as good as music gets. And that's why I love this genre. That's generally why I love doing reviews, because you get this to listen to a month ahead of everyone else. So yeah, that's no friends here. Yeah, this is a 5 for me. Do yourself a favour if this is the one bit of advice you take away from listening to this show this week or this month or this year is fucking get this album.
Yeah. Kyle?
Ah, man, I'm gonna come in a little bit.
Yeah. You told us you were
guys
good.
This is 5/5. Yeah, absolutely.
You told us,
5.
Kyle.
Yeah. This was a 5 out of 5.
Your video.
I wish I could score it more. Actually, it's I don't know. It blew me away.
Yeah,
really did. Didn't expect it. It's such a simple name, and Giving Up the Ghost is like, oh, I've heard that one before, but like, fuck me.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's the best offer I'm getting tonight. Yeah. So give me a bit of time
after all that edging. So
if you're not DJing, you're edging.
Giving Up the Ghost is out on February 22nd on Lifeforce Records. I'll put links below to the band's Facebook, Bandcamp. Check this out. Please check this out. Massively underrated band, Mountaineer.
Yeah.
This is another stellar release from this band. Let us know what you think. Drop some comments in below once you've heard it. I'm happy to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. That is the review. Thank you for sticking with us for so long. We'll be back with another review very soon, but until then, take care. Speak to you soon.
Do you think the Edge from U2 regrets that name now that means something completely different? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, I know we're all wankers, but now my name is physically a wanking action. Amazing. Bye, everyone.